Well, I feel pretty good, actually. Right now I'm a little bit tired. We've had some hot weather in Chicago. We played a lot of ball games. I've only missed two, I think. They were both in one day, so I'm a little tired, and I've lost probably 8-9 pounds.
He was a titan of the diamond, a man whose bat spoke a language of power and precision. His name echoed in ballparks across America, a promise of crushing hits and clutch performances. But even for a legend, the greatest challenge wasn't facing a 100 miles per hour fastball or a devastating curveball. His life felt like a perfectly scripted season, a career crescendo leading to an inevitable Hall of Fame induction. He had reached the pinnacle, achieving the elusive MVP award, a testament to his dominance. Yet just when his star shone brightest, fate took a terrifying turn, a chilling twist of numbers and coordinates that would forever silence his roar. What happened when the cheers of the crowd faded, and the roar of engines became a chilling omen? This is the story of an MVP, whose final flight took him into the annals of baseball tragedy. The year was 1972. The California Angels were a team on the rise, and their brightest star was Thurman Munson. A catcher whose grit was as legendary as his swing, Munson wasn't just good, he was vital. He was the undisputed leader, the fiery heart and soul of a franchise that desperately needed him. His rookie year in 1969 showed flashes of brilliance, but it was in the following seasons that he truly blossomed. By 1970, he was an all-star, an honor he would repeat 3 more times in his career. He possessed a rare combination of offensive might and defensive prowess, a catcher who could not only frame pitches with the best, but also deliver game-changing blows. In 1971, he hit a remarkable .307 with 11 home runs and 75 RBIs. Solid numbers, yes, but it was his intensity, his unwavering commitment to winning that truly set him apart. He played through injuries, he battled with umpires, he demanded excellence from himself and his teammates. Then came 1972. This was the year Thurman Munson etched his name in the pantheon of baseball greats. He put up jaw-dropping numbers that season. A batting average of .313, 15 home runs, and a career-high 107 RBIs. He collected 173 hits, showcasing his consistent ability to get on base and drive in runs. But it wasn't just the raw statistics that made him special. It was his leadership. He guided the Angels, often carrying them on his back when the bats went cold. He was the captain, the general in shin guards, and his presence made everyone around him better. He was the focal point of their offense, the steady force behind the plate. His achievements that year culminated in the ultimate individual honor, the American League Most Valuable Player Award. He beat out other incredible talents, a testament to his all-around impact on the game. He was the undisputed king of baseball that season, a player at the absolute zenith of his powers. The future looked boundless, a long and storied career filled with more accolades and championships. His MVP season wasn't just about personal glory, it was about elevating his team. He was the anchor, the one player opposing pitchers truly feared. He represented everything a team needed in a leader: talent, drive, and an unshakable will to win. The buzz around Thurman Munson was deafening. He was the face of baseball's next generation. But the baseball field, for all its drama, was not where his final act would unfold. The roar of the crowd was a distant memory as another, far more sinister, sound began to dominate his life. It was the hum of an engine, a prelude to a journey that would become tragically iconic. The year was 1979. Munson had now moved to the New York Yankees, a team steeped in dynasty and demanding excellence. He found himself in pinstripes, continuing his legacy of leadership and clutch hitting. He had already led the Yankees to 3 consecutive World Series appearances and 2 championships in 1977 and 1978. He was a seasoned veteran, a captain once again, and a vital component of a formidable team. That season, 1979, saw him continue to perform at a high level. While he didn't replicate his MVP numbers, he was still a force. He hit .297 with 14 home runs and 70 RBIs. He was a steady presence, a dependable bat in a lineup filled with stars. He was still in his prime, his career far from over. Off the field, however, Munson pursued a passion that would ultimately prove fatal. He was an accomplished pilot, a skill he honed with dedication and practice. He owned a Cessna Citation jet, a powerful twin-engine aircraft. He flew it often, relishing the freedom and the escape it offered from the pressures of professional baseball. He was known for his meticulous nature, his attention to detail. This trait, so valuable on the baseball field, followed him into the cockpit. He was diligent in his pre-flight checks, his understanding of aerodynamics and the mechanics of his aircraft. He wasn't a reckless thrill-seeker, he was a calculated pilot who enjoyed the precision of flight. On August 2, 1979, Munson was enjoying a day off from baseball. The Yankees were in Seattle to play the Mariners. But before the game, Munson had plans that took him away from the ballpark. He was scheduled to fly his jet to Canton, Ohio, his hometown, for a practice session with the Cleveland Indians catcher Dave Duncan. Duncan and Munson were close friends, bonded by their shared experiences as big league catchers. They often worked out together during the off-season, honing their skills. Munson, with his piloting expertise, agreed to fly Duncan to a location where they could practice pitching and catching. The weather that day near Canton was reportedly challenging. There were reports of heavy rain and limited visibility. These were not ideal conditions for a landing, especially for a pilot who was also managing his flight path and fuel considerations. Munson was flying with two friends, mechanics Jerry and John Schraney, who were traveling with him to assist with the practice session. They were looking forward to a routine flight, a brief respite before returning to the Yankees' schedule. No one on board could have anticipated the terrifying sequence of events that was about to unfold. The engines of his personal escape were about to become instruments of an unthinkable tragedy. The approach to the small, familiar airfield in Canton was meant to be routine. But something went terribly wrong. The final moments of his flight are shrouded in tragedy, a chilling testament to the fragility of life. Munson was attempting to land his Cessna Citation at the Akron-Canton airport. Reports from the investigation suggest that the aircraft experienced engine failure during its approach. The exact cause of the engine trouble remains a subject of detailed analysis, but the outcome was devastatingly clear. As the plane descended, Munson fought valiantly to regain control. He was a pilot known for his skill and his calm under pressure. He was wrestling with a mechanical failure, a force far beyond his control. The runway was in sight, but it was rapidly becoming unreachable. Eyewitness accounts describe a plane that appeared to be attempting a forced landing, deviating from its normal path. The aircraft hit some trees on the outskirts of the airport, a brutal collision that foreshadowed the catastrophic impact. The impact was immediate and severe. The plane crashed and immediately erupted in flames. The wreckage was scattered, a grim scene that shocked the local community and the baseball world. The sheer force of the impact meant there was little chance of survival for anyone on board. Tragically, Thurman Munson and his two passengers, the Schraney brothers, perished in the crash. The loss was immediate and absolute. The man who had captivated millions with his on-field heroics was gone in an instant, a victim of a mechanical failure. The news sent shockwaves through the baseball community. Thurman Munson, the MVP, the captain, the warrior, was no more. Players, coaches, fans, all were left stunned and heartbroken. An MVP award, a symbol of unparalleled achievement, now seemed a bittersweet remembrance. The investigations into the crash were extensive. They meticulously examined the aircraft's maintenance records, the pilot's flight logs, and the catastrophic failure of the engines. The official findings pointed to a combination of factors, but the overriding narrative was one of a tragic accident, a moment where fate intervened with brutal finality. His death was a profound loss for the New York Yankees. He was more than just a player, he was their leader, their inspiration. His absence left a gaping hole in their lineup, and more importantly, in their hearts. The season continued, but it was a season tinged with an unspeakable sadness. The loss of Thurman Munson was more than just the end of a brilliant career. It was a stark reminder that even the greatest among us are vulnerable. The roar of the crowd could not shield him from the silence of a failing engine. He was an MVP, a legend in his own time, and his story became a cautionary tale, a dark chapter in baseball's rich history. The impact of Thurman Munson's death rippled far beyond the confines of the baseball diamond. It was a personal tragedy for his family, but it also resonated deeply with a nation that had watched him grow into a superstar. His passing left an indelible mark. The New York Yankees, a team already legendary, found themselves grappling with an unimaginable void. Munson had been their captain, their leader for years. His gruff demeanor, his unwavering intensity, and his clutch hitting were integral to their identity. Without him, the pinstripes felt a little less bright. Manager Billy Martin, forever a complex figure in baseball lore, was deeply affected. He had often clashed with Munson's fiery personality, but their mutual respect was undeniable. The loss was a blow to his managerial strategies, and more significantly to the team's spirit. The Yankees, despite their talent, struggled to find the same cohesive force they had with Munson at the helm. The season continued as it must. But every game was played with a heavy heart. The cheers were often subdued, the victories tinged with the absence of their captain. The team's performance in the latter half of the 1979 season serves as a poignant testament to Munson's influence. They rallied spurred on by the memory of their fallen leader and managed to make the postseason, a remarkable feat given the circumstances. On October 7, 1979, the Yankees played their final home game of the season against the Boston Red Sox. This game, already a historic rivalry, took on a new layer of emotional significance. Before the game, there was a special ceremony to honor Munson. His uniform number 15 was retired by the Yankees, a permanent tribute to his legacy. This is a rare honor, reserved for only the most impactful players in the franchise's storied history. The MVP award, once a symbol of his on-field dominance, now became a solemn reminder of his life and his potential. The future he might have had, the records he might have broken, the championships he might have led them to, all were extinguished in that tragic crash. He was only 32 years old, a career that promised so much was cut brutally short. His impact on the catcher position was significant. He embodied what it meant to be a true backstop, a fierce competitor, a skilled defender, and a powerful hitter. He set a standard that many young catchers would aspire to for years to come. His name became synonymous with the archetype of the modern catcher. The investigations into the crash eventually concluded, offering technical explanations, but they could never truly fill the void left by his absence. The story of Thurman Munson is a powerful reminder of the unpredictable nature of life, the thin line between triumph and tragedy. The roar of the engines that once lifted him could not save him from their sudden silence. He was an MVP, a champion, a leader who wore the crown of baseball with pride and ferocity. His bat was a thunderclap, his presence a fortress. But in the vast expanse of the sky, facing a different kind of engine failure, that formidable power became tragically silent. The plane never landed, but his legacy forever remains etched in the annals of baseball, a legend whose potential soared too high and crashed too soon, a chilling reminder that even the brightest stars can be extinguished by forces beyond our control.